I don't know about you, Orlando. I have worked every single day, including weekends, for the past 27 days now.
I have not worked the weekends last weekend, but we did the time before, the week before, and I will this weekend.
Nice. And
So
so this is going to be like a nice late night kind of vibe podcast. So just
yeah,
like listen to this after, I don't know, 10 p.m. All right, today we're going to talk about how to win a hackathon and why it's important that companies that join a hackathon, maybe as sponsors or just like to lurk in, help people win hackathons. And we've seen this like many times over where we get a ton of companies just like joining the hackathon and then just sitting on their desks doing nothing or just waiting
waiting.
for questions to come there. So usually like babysitting. And I think it's kind of directly proportional. The more enterprise you are, the least involved you are in the hackathon itself.
Even worse, some companies are so corporate, so enterprise, where the developer advocates will be in the the staff room on their laptop, and nobody can access that room other than staff. And so the hackers from the hackathon will be like, "Hey, have you seen a representative of company ABC?" And everyone's like, no. Or, "Yeah, they're in the staff room doing things instead
What
of doing
things?
their work." But we don't know that, right? I
All
mean, I
right.
think maybe their corporate policies like, you better close those Jira tickets instead of being at the event and communicating and meeting people, which that's what the developer advocate role should be all
Yeah.
about. But maybe some people, they're not really good at their job and they would rather be at the desk and answer
Or
tweets, like do the other stuff.
I mean, yeah, having done that, like heading developer relation teams in the past, I know that it's very hard to get the hackathon right in terms of goals when you are at a bigger company, because usually those budgets come from marketing, and marketing wants awareness, not necessarily sign-ups or retention or activity. And so uh, that is basically just like misaligned incentives. You go there and all you do is just like put your banner. That's it.
Yeah,
You
maybe give
sponsor.
like a 30-second talk about your
Yeah,
company on stage, and then there's a proof, someone took a picture of you,
right.
there's maybe a video, and then that's it.
And it's always the same speech. Like it's not really tailored for the hackathon. Some other times, the goal for hackathons is recruiting. Though, well, it's not that much anymore. Like the glory old days with all these layoffs of college hiring or like community driven hiring is over
Yeah,
in a way. Like it's not what it used to be, at least. And that when that's the case, the budget usually comes from engineering, and engineering has an event budget sometimes a larger companies.
hmm,
And
for hiring.
so yeah, for hiring. And that's how sometimes it happens. Like the sponsor maybe a standard package of a hackathon, go there, scout good projects, and then um, try to talk to the winners and say, oh, congrats, have you considered working for us? And again, misaligned incentives. Like you're not fishing for users, you're fishing for something else. And
Right.
so hackathons are kind of hit and miss, especially at larger organizations. But even the smaller ones are kind of not understanding exactly why they should get there. And obviously, they try a lot of marketing, and for them, it's also an awareness play. Like you want people to kind of be aware of what you do, how like get them to touch your technology, and maybe hope for a sign up. We do it differently, and I know that certain other companies also are starting to copy us, which is a good sign that we're doing things right. And I'll tell you why. Because it's working, because we get a ton of traction and a ton of retention after as well. Like after the last three hackathons, we saw our retention doubling. So it's not just like a weekend kind of thing. Obviously, you see the
The
spike over the
activity.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it drops a little and then it goes up back again. And it's like becoming higher. So obviously it works. And we're doing something great. And today we're going to give you all our secrets, because we know that if you're a competitor, you're not going to do it right. And if you're an investor, you know that we're doing things right. So here it is.
There
So
goes
our
the secret.
there goes the secret. What is the ultimate goal of joining a hackathon? The ultimate goal of
It's
joining a hackathon is to
winning.
make winning. Yes. So you need to keep in mind that you, as a company, you need to win. Not just your users, you as a company need to win. And so we take pride in all the users that built something on top of Toolhouse, and we push the marketing shit out of it because we're proud. It's not just it's not just good like social media marketing. It's actually something we are deeply proud of, and that also validates that if our value proposition is to be the best developer experience out there, and people end up building something meaningful, then that's it. Like the hackathon is the best place to do that.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the first hackathons we joined, we had a company. It was an actual company, and they were uh, prototyping something that then they put in production like
Oh,
4 weeks
wow.
after.
Oh, yeah. Was
So
that the Dutch company?
the Dutch company, yep,
Got it.
yep,
So, how do you, when you say like winning at hackathons, like you take pride of the, having a good developer experience and helping the users. What does it mean for a company to win at a hackathon? Like, how do you define that? Because I have a definition, but
yeah.
what, yeah.
I start with the data. I start with a KPI, like as if it was a company goal. You want as many like first, second, and third prizes as possible. It's like winning an Olympic competition. And yeah, we won about like 60% of the first, second, and third prizes awarded at hackathons we went, which is great. Uh, but winning also, like, how do you get to those data? How do you get to these numbers? The actions you have to do are pretty heavy. Like you need to be there and support people. So one thing that we try not to do is to sit at a booth. So sometimes you can avoid having a booth, but sometimes you can ask the organizers, "Hey, don't give me a booth. Instead, I'm going to go table by table and tell people, ask people what they're doing, and from there, figure out how I can help, not just in terms of like pushing, shoving Toolhouse into their projects, but understanding exactly what is that they need help with. And sometimes we find that one of the most felt needs are in prompting. Like people don't understand how to prompt their own agents, and so even if you give them Toolhouse on top of say Llama Index or any other technology, they still struggle because they don't know how to actually like make the prompt work, because maybe it doesn't work, maybe they chose the wrong model. And so putting your knowledge out there for them is going to help them win. Not
I
only
would
that,
say
it gives
even
you,
going deeper than that,
yeah,
right? Sometimes you go to, like, here's an example. Like, say we don't have a booth. I have my T-shirt on. That shows that I have a T-shirt. I represent a company. I have my name tag on. Those are the basics. You need that. You go to a table. You introduce yourself. You say, "Hey guys," or "Hey y'all. What are you working on? Like, do you guys have an idea? Does your team have a name? My name is Orlando, and I work at Toolhouse." And then you ask, those the question I basically said. And then usually they'll be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, we heard of Toolhouse at the, I know you're a sponsor." Or maybe they'll be like, "Oh, what is Toolhouse?" Or then they'll say, "Oh, we're working on this and this." But most of the times they're like, "We have an idea, but we're not really sure if this is a good idea." And so what you want to do is you want to be like the wall that you throw a spaghetti against to make sure that it sticks, to make sure that it's cooked, right? That's a trick to in Italy, to make sure that the pasta is ready. Um, if it sticks, it's ready. And so you're the wall, and they will like start talking to you about their idea. And then you're gonna be like, "Okay, that makes sense. I can see how you can make that. Maybe you can consider this." And you bring all of your knowledge as a developer, as a founder, as a
yeah,
developer advocate. You've been to a lot of hackathons. Hopefully, you've written code. You know how things work. You can try to help them, especially when the team is composed of like more junior people. They might be their first hackathon, so you want to really be helpful, right? So the really important thing is not, like you said, don't stay at your table, but go and make friends, right? Like go make friends, and then you'll help them win the hackathon from there, right?
Right.
So go and say hello. Number one, first, first recipe,
Yeah.
step, make
Step
friends.
step two, be legit. So one thing that that stuck with me was that at the hackathon something wasn't working right, and I think it's not. I don't think it was a bug at the time. It was just like a weird
Like a
response
quirk.
type. Yeah.
Yeah, like a quirk.
So if yeah, basically there was a condition where if you use code interpreter would be returning an error because the code generated by the LLM was broken, and the LLM would understand, oh, okay, the code interpreter broke, not my code, and so we need to fix that. And somebody pointed out that kind of issue there, and so I looked at it on their laptop, and I told them, just like, wait up a second. I opened my laptop and started to like fix that for them. And yeah, while I was typing, I could hear people on the side saying, "Oh my god, that's the CEO of Toolhouse. Oh my god, is he fixing a bug?" And I said, "Yes." And then we're like, "Oh my god, they're legit." So that's exactly what you want out there. And I've done that like all my life. I remember when I was working, when Meta was called Facebook, I was
Yeah.
there, and there were like bugs, for example, with the docs, and the docs were exactly what you want developers to go where they when they are building something. And so somebody has asked me for a certain behavior that maybe was not documented correctly or not documented at all, and I just went like that, like in front of them and say, okay, so hold on a second, let me document it, so you have it. And so I opened the CMS, like added the stuff or corrected what needed to be corrected, like push it. There was another person with me that could do the peer review, published it, and they were like, "Holy shit!" Like we just submitted like bug request to Facebook, and they did it on the spot. They're
Yeah,
the
and
shit.
you know
So
why? You
that's
know
the
why
cool
that's
factor. Yeah,
good? Yeah, you know why that's cool? Because as a participant, you've interacted with someone from the company, which for some people is cool, don't get me wrong, but also you've provided value to the big company. So you can say, "Ha, this change happened because of me." And so the fact that you show that you commit the change or you fix the issue makes them feel like they validated, like they're
totally.
part of the. It's basically the same incentive when you have a bug bounty program. And I don't want to start talking about hacking or anything, but when you have bug bounty program and people get awarded and said, "Yep, you found a bug, here's some money," that is like the ultimate, feel good, like psychology reward thing.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
love that. That's number
100,
two.
100%, 100%. And the third part is, again, you win together. And so you need to think holistically about the entire hacking experience. 99.998% of people at the hackathon focus too much on the product and this much about the demo. When in reality, the demo is taking 99.998% of the judge's attention. And the demo is just like the wow factor at the end. So having a fantastic demo is something that people need to understand. We actually prepared a PDF that we released during the hackathon that's called How to Win a Hackathon.
Nice.
Yeah, I can actually show it.
Yeah, do it.
Let
So
me
so far we have, go out there
bring
to
it
make
up.
friends. So like don't be hidden in a room or
Yeah,
do your job right. The second one is be real, right? Be as real as possible. Try to help, try to,
be
if
legit.
be legit, right? Be legit. And the third one is focus on what matters, right? Is that the
Yep.
third one?
Focus. Yeah, focus on what matters.
Which is the demo, the whole
Exactly.
presentation.
Yeah, like you usually have 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Like let's say you have 4 minutes, you need to use them wisely. So focus on exactly what is the need, what is the problem that you saw that you want to solve for, and then very quickly, what is the solution? And that's where people start to get the demo wrong because you enter too much into the details, but you only want to tease the details. So it should be actually 2 slides, where in like very briefly, 30 seconds, and explain what the problem is, and then the solution, and then you jump into the demo, and the demo is like really a magic trick. So the
That's it.
problem is something, yeah, it's your pain or something that's broken, or just something you saw broken, and the solution is your project.
Awesome.
And this is the example. Like developers waste weeks trying to teach LLMs that there are 3 R's in strawberry. The solution with Toolhouse, developers can just build awesome AI apps, and we just take care of improving the accuracy of responses in 3 lines of code. Obviously, Toolhouse does much more than that, but you have like 3 seconds, and if you are hacking something quickly, you just want to get to the point that you're going to demonstrate. Maybe you built something so cool that and so big, but you don't just cram it directly into this slide. Like show it as you go in the platform.
Got it.
And so optimize this. Think of your demo as a magic trick. You need to optimize for something being awesome. You need to show how awesome the project is. So don't spend too much time on slides, and like use those 2 initial problem solution things to set the stage. Create some kind of dramatic tension as well. And I think this is like one of the movies that always comes to mind, The Prestige. And they had this key elements of a magic trick: the pledge, where you set up the trick, then you had the turn, where like you have something ordinary and you make it extraordinary, and then you have the prestige, when the magician brings back the audience to the real world.
Wow.
It seems impossible. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks to Claude, how do you turn your demo into a magic trick? So describe the problem, show something familiar. So the problem, the solution, the turn, introduce your project, describe one key feature, and then demo those one key features. And then as you go, add some wow effects. For example, I can say that Toolhouse can reduce hallucinations by solving complex math problems by using a virtual computer, which is already, and then you show it, and it goes,
Yeah.
wow.
It's cool, right?
But then,
virtual computers.
Yeah. But then I can ask the LM itself to generate an image of its own brain solving this thing, and all of a sudden you see it like in auto-generated AI image popping in, and then you can also add, okay, send me all this by email, and all of a sudden you have the same image with the same problem, the same solution, all by email. Wow.
Yeah. Another wow moment, going back to our previous podcast with Gift Genie last week, was not only they had done like the scraping, they had done the the searching for the gift, but then they created this like chain of thought algorithm where different agents were talking to each other to figure out the best gift, and that was the wow. Like, okay, very cool, you've done that. Very cool, you found the gift based on the data. Very cool, you have Amazon links, but like the way that you rank those gifts was like the wow, the prestige, right?
Exactly.
I love that.
And so our mantra for every hackathon is this: let's win together.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what we do and what we keep doing. So that's the amazing wow moment there.
Make friends, be legit, and wow the people that are judging, right? Like, show, don't tell too much. Be really good at showing.
Exactly.
And wow.
It's all about, in the end, it's all about storytelling.
Yeah. And if Toolhouse can help, even better, right?
But it does. So it's amazing. Yeah. We also hack ourselves. Like I already mentioned my example of like fixing things. But at one of the last hackathons, we actually built a bunch of cool stuff for the platform itself. So we hacked together a Llama Index integration. Llama Index was there, and we were all obviously raving about one another. So we're like, okay, let's
And the image.
What if Toolhouse and Llama Index had a baby? And all of a sudden, what happened is that everybody, we went table to table and say, are you using Toolhouse? Yes. Are you using Llama Index? Yes. Then it's like, do the integration. And the integration happened, and we saw like usage just like spiking like this immediately.
Yeah, that's the bonus. This is the bonus trick for developer advocates out there. Like, see what's happening and try to use that data that you get table to table to help. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much, and we will see you all on the next one, on next week, with another exciting topic.